Throughout time, artists have pushed the limits to what critics and the general public consider art. In this episode of Stecker Studios, we're asking Animal Ralph Bunch, students and staff, what they consider to be art. In order to figure out what criteria do people use in order to justify whether an image is art or not. Is this art?
I'm not gonna say that exactly is art because it's just like a bunch of random squares together. Like, I won't undermine the effort that went into to make the squares look like perfect squares, but in the end of the day, it's just squares. So I don't really consider it much as art.
Is this art?
Yes, I think this is art because like the red part look like the gym from a school, and then like the gray part look like classes, and then the yellow part look like the main office, and like the blue part look like the exit of the building.
Is this art?
I think this is art because the way that the squares are placed and the way the squares have different colors like red and yellow and blue, I think that's like meant to be there because like the artist like meant to put those colors there, and like the squares, the type of squares that there's in the picture are different. Like there's small squares, and then like in this corner there's a big square, and I think that's the way that the artist meant to put the squares. So I think it is art.
I do believe it's art. I think art can be many things, but I love this piece because it includes math. And there's these beautiful proportional patterns to it, and I think that is just one subset of art. Beautiful.
Is this art?
Yes. I will say it's art because, well, I know it doesn't show like drawings or anything, but it is really colorful. And, like, I know there are letters that like you can barely read, but I suggest that it is art.
Is this art?
I think so. I think it's art because like graffiti is unique to you. You might not know what it means, but like some graffiti, you can know two letters, and by those two letters, you know who did it. Like, that's pretty unique. That's an art to have the ability to like draw like that on walls with spray cans.
Is this art?
Yes, absolutely.
So why?
Why? Well, art is expression and needs creativity, and in order to create that mural, I guess, what would you call it? You need technique. You need to learn, the angles, the shading, and all of that, and that's what I see when I look at that. I know if I were to go paint that, it wouldn't look like that. I would have to practice my colors and my aesthetic, and I certainly believe that is something that takes time and practice, and I would consider it art for sure.
Is this art?
The graffiti piece, I would say it would be art because graffiti, when you think about it, it may seem like messy or it's like that there's no meaning behind it. But to me, I feel like if art is like you're passionate for something and you're drawing it for a reason, and it's either it has to be like an idea that you know and realistic and new. So basically, that's what art is, and I feel like graffiti would be art.
Is this art?
To me, in my opinion, yes, but to others, probably no. But I would say it is art simply because like somebody put like mostly people put their time and efforts into do something creative. Even though it's like probably illegal, it's still creative. So like I would count it as art, in my opinion. Yeah.
Is this art?
I do believe this is art. I would go as far as arguing that you see a representation, a visualization of a person's experience. You see use of color, you see use of shapes, you see use of just space, and overall, if art is designed to send a message, then I think this particular artist or artists are doing that in the realm of their own experience and surroundings. So I do believe it is art. Art is an expression of your experiences in my definition, and a visualization of that. And if you can get people to see that, which I think this graffiti piece or street art does, I'd consider that art.
Is this art?
I would say it is art. When I saw the juxtaposition of a princess and a pig, and maybe it might be some kind of commentary on standards of beauty. And I think it's kind of ironic that the perfect standard of beauty princess is on a pig.
Okay. I guess art is in the eye of the beholder. I honestly don't know. I think for me it's kind of grotesque, and I mean, did the pig give consent to have this tattooed on its back? I really like Mr. G's points though about this standard of beauty. That's really fascinating. The artist obviously knows how to draw well. The coloring looks really nice, but I think for me it's quite grotesque. But I suppose art can be grotesque as well.
Is this art?
Yes, I do think it's art because as soon as I saw it, I had so many emotions ranging from, this is disgusting, is this pig alive, is it a fake pig, who tattooed it, did it consent? And I think just all of these questions, even before I know anything about it, like that's how I know that something's art. If it's making me think, if it's making me question, if it's making me think about whether or not it's ethical, like just within a few seconds of looking at it.
Is it art?
Absolutely. That pig is art. I know that tattoo artists often practice on pig skin. I've never seen it done on live pigs, but I know they get pig skin and then they practice on it. So to me, when I see that Cinderella tattooed on a pig's back, I think that that is like the marriage of practice and art, because it's tattooing and it's how you practice tattooing.
Is this art?
I think this is art because he made something into something different. He wanted to like create a different view of the urinal.
Ivan, is this art?
I've always felt that art is like beauty. It's kind of like in the eye of the beholder. So to me, urinal put on its side with the signature is not considered art for myself. I'm sure that there are others that can probably sit there and think about what the artist was thinking, what it means, but just to me, yeah, it's just a urinal on its side. Thanks.
Is this art?
I would argue it is. I mean, for the most part, all the pictures really seem like art. It really comes down to perspective and the way you look at it. So just because we might not see something as art or as beautiful, it doesn't necessarily mean that the person who created it didn't see it that way. It might just mean that there's some hidden message that we're not getting. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really get the message of the urinal. But I mean, it's really in the eye of the beholder, is what it comes down to.